Hey everyone, so this is a Microsoft Purview masterclass. In this masterclass, you will learn about the roles and responsibility of a compliance based role within the organization. Learn about some basics on what is data classification, some question answer there to validate your knowledge, some information about how you can create these sensitive information type. We will look into both the custom sensitive information type and the Microsoft provided information types as well, and how you can use them. Then we will go and learn about how you can create these sensitivity labels. We will look into examples on how you can apply that to Word or an Excel file or an email, things like that. These labels can be applied manually or automatically. We will learn these two scenarios. And towards the end, we will learn about how the encryption works and we will close it off there. I hope you're going to enjoy this particular masterclass. I will see you on the next one. Until then, take care. All right, so we have decided to do this in multiple steps. I'm going to take you through step by step. In the first exercise, we are going to learn about how to manage compliance roles. Within that, we are going to learn about how can you assign these compliance roles, turn on auditing, and explore different aspects of Microsoft Purview portal. So what you are seeing over here is the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So think of a scenario like you've been recently hired as a compliance administrator in your company, and it's your responsibility to configure your organization's new Microsoft 365 tenant to meet the compliance requirement. So as a compliance administrator, what are the things you potentially would do? So first, what we are going to do is we are going to assign the compliance role. So first task is I'm going to help you understand what is this compliance role, and why are we doing this is because you're going to follow the principle of least privilege, because you don't want to give everybody the global administrator in your organization to do every task, right? So first let's go to users. That's the reason we came into the admin center first instead of Purview portal. So go to active users. And we are going to pick a user persona. So let's pick a user. Let's pick Johnny Sherman. So if this is the user you want to provide the compliance admin role, or assume you are Johnny Sherman, you joined the organization to do the compliance related activities, you request the global administrator in your organization that, hey, for me to do these certain jobs, I need certain controls to perform these tasks. The compliance administrator role will give you an ability to do all the compliance related tasks. So the typical administrator in your organization would go and click on the user, and when you select a user, you can pretty much find most of the details related to that user. Like in the account tab, you can see the email address, when did that user last signed in, the aliases. Most importantly, when you go to the devices, you can find the devices that user is using as per the enrollment in Intune. Or when you go to the licenses tab, this is where you can find all the licenses assigned for that particular user. So for this task, what we are trying to do here is we are going to help or get this user the right role to do this task. For that, go to the account tab, and when you scroll down, you will find roles. Under roles, you can see that this user doesn't have any administrative roles. We don't want that. To give additional roles, you can click on the user, this option called manage roles. And by default, this user, because there is no admin center access, we have to first and foremost enable this option called admin center access. All right. So when you do that, that's going to enable a lot of options for this user. So the compliance administrator role, what we are trying to assign to this user by default is not showing in this list. You can only see Exchange administrator, global administrator, SharePoint, Teams, and things like that. To view the compliance or any other additional roles, click on this show all by category. So now if you scroll down, you can see plenty of other roles as well. So let's go and see if we can find the compliance administrative role. It should be based on alphabetical order, right? Let's go and see if we can find security compliance category, identity. All right, so I found a section called security and compliance. Inside that, there is an option for compliance administrator. If you want to know more about it, click on this information button. It says that Let's click on it. This role manages regulatory requirements and e-discovery cases, maintains data governance for locations, identities, and applications. So click on the compliance administrator and click on save changes. All right, now you can see that admin roles is updated. I can close this fly out. Now if I click on this particular user, Johnny Sherman, and scroll down to the roles, I should be seeing this here. So maybe let's do a quick refresh. And now let's scroll down. You can see that under roles, this user have compliance administrative role activated. The next thing what we are going to do is the next task is to turn on auditing. So to do that, we are going to go to the Purview portal. So easy way to go to Purview portal is to know the Purview portal URL. Because I don't know, I'm going to click on this under admin center. There is an option called compliance admin center. When you click on it, takes you to the Purview portal. So the Purview portal URL is purview.microsoft.com. So I'm going to accept the default messages. Let me quickly expand the real estate a little bit so that we can see a lot of things clearly. Because I logged in for the first time, it is setting things for me. So to turn on auditing, we can find the auditing under this information protection button, or on the left hand side. This is a new portal. I'm not quite familiar with it. A lot of things are changing, but you can always click on solutions. That kind of shows all the solution on a super high level, so it's easier for us to navigate and click on different solutions. So I could either go to audit directly by clicking into all solution here, or you can go to traditional way by clicking into information protection, and here I can find the activity explorer. So let's close this. To find the activity explorer under information protection, we are going to explorers, expand that and click on activity explorer. All right, so because I couldn't find the turn on auditing, I just did a quick reading. It said there are a few things got changed. It says that if you go to the audit section and if the auditing isn't turned on, a banner is displayed prompting that you should start recording user and admin activity. And if we don't see this banner, that means that the auditing is turned on by default. So let's go back to the Purview portal. So I'm going to go under solutions, click on audit, and there is no banner here. So that technically means the auditing is already on. So that is quite good. So we didn't have to do that path. So now you know that if the auditing is not turned on, this is how you can turn it on. So when you come to the audit solution, there'll be a banner with this specific message called start recording user and admin activity. So that is something you need to turn on. Now let's minimize this admin portal, and we are going to log in as Johnny Sherman. So let's open the new portal, new browser window, and this time go directly to Purview portal. So purview.microsoft.com, and instead of admin, I'm going to log in as Johnny Sherman. Oh, it's already joined me. All right, so I need to log in as in private browser. So let's open an in private window. Let's go to purview.microsoft.com and let's log in as Johnny Sherman. All right, so we got the welcome message just like how we got before. So what we can do is we can actually glance through the portal here just for a couple of minutes to see what are the things we can find. Definitely there is a getting started page. It basically tells in these cards like what are the things we can do. You can understand the alert summaries for data loss prevention, document summaries within the e-discovery, message summaries in the communication compliance, things like that. So if you are curious about any particular thing, you can click on learn more to understand more. These things are highlighting the fact that there is Copilot now available in Purview. So this session is not Copilot related. So if you are going to use Copilot, we can talk about that later. Let's stick to the Purview default components. We have components like data catalog, information protection. We're going to spend a lot of time here. Data loss prevention, insider risk, DSPM. I will create a separate video on DSPM later. So if you want to learn all other solutions within the Purview, click on all solution. This is kind of like going into the solution here. This tells what, on a high level, what are the solutions available within the Purview portal, and all the things what you can do to configure compliance and security related aspects within your organization. You can filter these based on core solutions or risk and compliance related solutions, data governance, data security, and additional resources. So if you look at the core solution, these are the place where we are going to spend a lot of time today, like compliance alert configuration, some risk and compliance related activities. So if you are quite new to this portal, I would encourage you to just click on these components and basically having a read about in the overview section about what this does and what are the things you can do to control and things like that. All right. So in the interest of keeping it very short and precise on the topic, let's move on to the next exercise. In this exercise, we're going to learn about data classification and we're going to go through the basics. My objective is to help you understand the fundamentals of taxonomy and data classification and how these concepts work together within the purview. So let's take you through a couple of basic things. First, let's understand what is taxonomy. So when you think of taxonomy in information management system, it kind of refers to the practice of organizing the data into different categories. So think of identifying what all the different types of data within your organization and putting a name or a cataloging or putting some association within that data within their organization. That is basically known as taxonomy. So that will include categories or subcategories to make it easier for you to find and manage and search and retrieve information within the organization. So next time when you think about taxonomy, think of this is nothing but identifying and organizing the data within your organization. Then you might wonder, why is it important in the data management realm? So if you have a well-defined taxonomy, obviously it definitely helps you structure this data within your organization logically. And additionally, when you try to find or discover any sort of data using any sort of retrieval, it could be search or things like that, it retrieves those information in a much better way. And additionally, it facilitates better governance because you have a rich set of cataloging available, and it is good for the compliance purposes as well because it is categorized correctly within your organization. So here you can see there is a example what I have put down here, comparing that with a library. A book are categorized by a particular genre based on an author name or a publication date. And if you have that sort of a organization within your library, it's easier for you to go and find or look for a specific book. Similarly, in an organization, you could potentially categorize the data by type or sensitivity, or you could categorize by department as well. So with these different sort of categorization, it is easier for you to tag and categorize and find that information, and going forward apply the right adequate controls or policy on top of it. So that's the details on importance of data management. Next, what is data classification? So very short answer is data classification involves identifying and labeling data based on the level of sensitivity and impact if that is to be compromised. To give you a bit more idea, like data classification will allow first and foremost to identify and label different sort of data within your organization, and then what you would do is based on the data you're gonna identify things like, hey, is it like a publicly available data, or is it something sensitive to a particular department, or is it highly confidential data. So once you have the data classification, then you can further drill down and put sensitivity on top of it. All right, so now let's go and look at the importance of security and compliance. So first and foremost, let's understand what is the classification levels available. So within the Microsoft Purview, you have by default it include things like public, which does mean that this data can be freely shared with not only internal, external as well. Then you might have another classification like internal. This is purely meant for internal use only. So you use that data within your organization, but at no way this is going to leave your organization outside to anybody to access. Another thing could be a confidential sensitive data. That is, even within internal, this is privy to only a specific subset of users within your organization. And highly confidential is extremely sensitive data, which is like strict knowledge for a specific project or like a specific user set or HR or project based teams and things like that. So, in relation to that, what is Microsoft Purview? So, you can think of Microsoft Purview is going to provide a comprehensive set of solution for any sort of data governance and compliance. And when you enable these, you can use that to either discover or classify or protect or manage these sort of data. Some of the key capabilities of Purview include things like what we are talking about, like data classification and labeling, data discovery and cataloging, and risk management and compliance reporting. So these are the high level core feature or capability of Purview. Let's look at the taxonomy, how it works within Purview. So in Purview, first and foremost, you're going to create a label taxonomy. And these label taxonomy is structured in a way to organize your labels in different criteria, such as sensitivity, retention policies, department specific needs, and things like that. Then you would take the steps to create these label taxonomy, like identify different categories to subcategories and organize these labels and things like that. A potential example could be you would be labeling as public, internal, confidential, highly confidential, or sub labels such as like HR confidential or finance confidential or accounting confidential, things like that. So how does the data classification in Purview looks like? You will basically go and apply this label. When you apply this label, you can either apply manually or you can apply it automatically. We will see these examples. And then you get an ability to look into how Purview is tracking all of these labeling whatever you have created, and there are mechanisms you can use to actually keep a look on a very high level how things are progressing, so that you can take adequate measure and things like that. So before we jump into doing certain things in the Purview, let's go through a couple of questions to do a quick knowledge check. So first question is, what is the primary purpose of data classification? Is it to back up the data regularly, or is it to organize the data alphabetically, or is it to archive old data within your organization, or is it to identify and label data based on its level of sensitivity and the impact it would have if it is compromised? I will give you a moment to reflect. And the right answer is to identify and label data based on its level of sensitivity and the impact it would have if it is compromised. So that is the purpose of data classification. All right, so the next question is to identify what is the key capability of Microsoft Purview. Is it to do data discovery and cataloging, or is it for software development, or is it for data encryption and decryption, or is it for network security and monitoring? Take a moment to reflect on it. The right answer is data discovery and cataloging. So the Purview is the tool which we are going to use to, I'm going to show you various methods on how you can do this discovery and cataloging, and how you can use the Activity Explorer to look into the data and things like that. Third question is, how can Microsoft Purview apply labels to the data? Is it by changing the data format, or is it by manually applying the label, or automatically based on predefined rules, or is it by compressing the data files, or is it by deleting the old labels? Reflect on it. The right answer is by manually applying labels and automatically based on predefined rules. We're going to go through two examples looking into these two aspects. The last question is, in Microsoft Purview, what is the purpose of a label taxonomy? Is it to organize files by file size, or is it to structure label based on criteria such as sensitivity, retention policies, and department specific needs, or is it to sort data by date created, or is it to categorize software licenses. Just think about it. The right answer is to structure the label based on criteria such as sensitivity, retention policies, and department specific needs.